On today's episode of Into Your Head, number 626 for Wednesday, a groundbreaking theory about pheromones from litter, why branding is wasted on cats, the role of monkey bars in evolution, where water really comes from, old-time energy drinks, and a visit to McDonald's through the eyes of a cat, and lots more. Hello. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics going out of this, that, and everywhere. I haven't drunk my energy drink yet. Well, that's not completely true. I drank some energy drink earlier, but then I got distracted. I got distracted by cramming as much materials as I could into the recycling bin. Basically I erected an extension to the top of it using cardboard, put plastic over it to keep it dry, because I'm a caring citizen. Besides which, one of the refuse men in Dublin got killed by his own lorry yesterday. He got swallowed into his own lorry and tragically lost his life. So I think tomorrow I'm going to be nice to the bin men. Be kind, unwind, don't overfill your bin, and if you do overfill it, do it in a safe manner. Wrap it in strong cardboard, and then wrap that in recyclable see-through plastic that'll keep it dry and keep a soft, hard, erect cardboard structure will be the stops, then it's okay. Apart from that, no, I haven't drunk my energy drink yet because I was doing that, and I was also semi-preparing today's dinner. Christ, that's disgusting. Monster energy drink with fucking tea in it. What will they think of next? I'll tell you what they'll think of next. They'll think of going back to the old days. In my day, it was Lucozade, and it was 7-Up boiled up in a saucepan and given to your children if they were sick, or else a bit of milk or a bit of water. In my day, you were allowed to drink water all day, every day, and no one had any objection to it. You didn't have people coming up to you in the street saying, "That's an awful waste of water. Where did you get that water? Did you bottle it?" And I'll say, "Yes, I did. I bottled it from my tap." And they'll say, "Now, where do you think that top comes from?" And I'll say, I believe the builders bought them in bulk when they were building this estate of houses. They bought them in bulk off a plumbing supplies supplier. At least that would be my guess. Why do you ask? And they'll say, "No, I mean, do you know where that from whence? From where? From whence? Does from whence work for? Is from whence mean from where or for when? From when? Let's say it means from when. Anyway, they'll say from where. From where does the water come when it emerges through that pipe into your house?" And I'll say, "I presume it emerges from the clouds. I presume the pipe comes down out of the clouds. They keep it, that's got an elastic end on it, and the Met Service are telling them where to point it at nowadays. So they'll have a funnel at the end of it, and they'll hold the end of the pipe under the biggest cloud they can find every day. And when there's no clouds, that's when they tell you, conserve water, conserve it like be damned. Don't be flushing your toilet. Don't be trying piss less. Have dry tea. Have espressos. Espressos are the most friendliest way to handle water. An espresso uses hardly any water at all. A double strength espresso uses no more water, but a double espresso with double the amount of water in it, that's just being silly. If you're going to do that, get 2 espressos, but then put them both in the same paper cup, because otherwise I've seen people go into the shop, myself included, say, "Hello, can I have 2 double espressos, please?" And they'll get out 2 little espresso cups and put a double espresso in one and a double espresso in the other. And it never occurs to them to say, "Do you want the 2 espressos lumped in together in a big cup?" And that'll save a bit on polystyrene or whatever it is. I remember back in the old days when McDonald's started in Ireland, they used to put the burgers in a yellow some sort of plasticky box anyway. It was like an egg cup. I can tell you, it tasted a lot nicer in those days out of that than it does now. Now they just cram it into a bit of folded cardboard, and while that may well be better on the environment, as far as I'm concerned, it isn't. The environment is not helped by people not enjoying their food as much. I'll tell you that when I was in the McDonald's yesterday, I was sitting in the McDonald's in Kilkenny passing the time, and I saw some woman who worked there go out to water the flowers. She had 4 McDonald's cups, one inside the other, and she was filling the top one with water and coming out and watering a couple of plants. Then she was going back in and coming back out and watering them again from the top cup with into the plants. And then when she was finished, she put all 4 cups in the fucking bin. And that's what we're dealing with here now. Until we up the standards of education on these, I thought they had a McDonald's University where they train people like this. Well, no, apparently they're having the same problem that they say they have in England, where the exam results are going up over the years, but they claim that it's only because the standard of corrections is going down. I don't know. All I can say is McDonald's University, you need to start with the basics. It's all very well learning how to market cheese at children by putting a fake burglar monster in front of them and having the fellow with the red head chasing them down with an axe, and then saying cheese prevents that. Cheese causes nightmares if you have it too late at night. Luckily, you won't be bringing your children to our establishment late at night unless you're an irresponsible parent. So it's perfectly good for them to have cheese during the day, and they won't be having nightmares late at night. Or if they do, it's because of whatever you feed them at night, which is your responsibility as a parent. That's what they're trying to say with the Hamburglar and his arch nemesis Ronald McDonald, or whatever his real name is. Ronald McDonald. Ron, that sounds a bit Scottish, if you don't mind me saying. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I knew some McDonald's in Ireland. I don't think they were Scottish. I knew a fella called Ron. I discussed him recently on the show. Yourself's probably short for Ronald, now that I think about it. But we all go back a couple of episodes and you'll see an episode of Into Your Head in the last week or two called People Called Ron. And it's got no connection whatsoever with McDonald's, unless he worked in one at some stage. I don't think so. He was in some sort of business or other, the details of which I can't remember, possibly because my mind is only designed to remember things that are relevant at this moment, and that sure as hell isn't relevant at this moment. If you think that's relevant at this moment, then I can tell you you've got a mighty shock coming to you when you review this in your own mind and realise, oh, my mind is bringing up things like the Cookie Monster and anti-disestablishmentarianism and Professor Stephen Hawking's. As I listen to this, my mind is bringing up all sorts of irrelevant things. Maybe I should go see a chiropodist or a head doctor, I suppose, to have this dealt with. You'll be largely right about that. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. Now, I know what you're thinking there, and for once in your pathetic little life, you're quite right. Unless you're thinking something other than what I think you're thinking, in which case I'm wrong, but you're not right either. You're thinking something pointless. But if you are thinking what I think you're thinking, you're thinking, he missed a bit there. He never explained why he thought people enjoying their McDonald's out of an oldie style, polystyrene egg cup style hamburger container rather than the modern cardboard things is good for the environment, which indeed I did claim. I did claim that people being happy while eating that food is good for the environment. Well, I'm sure if you're a biologist or some sort of people like that will know that when you're happy you produce pheromones, and if you're enjoying a hamburger more, you produce some sort of happiness pheromones, I'm sure, and those happiness pheromones, they're landing on top of the burger case. Now if it was a cardboard case, for one thing, you won't enjoy it as much, so you'll produce less happiness pheromones. But if it's a cardboard one, it'll just soak up any pheromones that you do manage to produce, and they'll just end up in a landfill somewhere. But if it's these old style polystyrene egg cup boxes, well, they'll hold. They'll hold on the surface your happiness pheromones for some time. So if someone wandering along happens to stumble across one on the street, hopefully they'll get some happiness pheromone onto them, and that'll spread a bit of happiness. You never know. You might have some fella who's down on his luck, going around shuffling around for bits of old burgers, and of course there'll be nothing in yours because you enjoyed yours and you ate every bit, but at least unknowns to him, by touching the burger box he'll get a bit of your happiness pheromone on him, and later in the day he'll realise, oh, I'm feeling a bit more positive than usual for no reason at all. I suppose that's good. In fact, I'm happy about that. That's all because of packaging. But I don't know, because of you people, you obsessives, you're obsessed with saving the earth. Apparently the earth is doomed unless they pick up every single bit of litter and rubbish that's on the floor on O'Connell Street. You can't be having bits of plastic lying around on the floor for more than 5 seconds. If you do, they fine you $8 million and they put you in jail. They say, off to prison you must go, you must go, you must go, off to prison you must go, my fair lady. You must go, off to prison you must go. Now, I might be mixing up the lyrics from a musical or something called My Fair Lady, a song that my mentally disadvantaged brother learned in special school when he was a child and used to sing a lot. And either way, I call it a mashup. I happen to like it myself, but you get the general idea. So, you drop anything in the street and suddenly you're the most evil monster on society. You're dropping litter. Everyone thinks, oh Christ, that fella's littering. That's worse than bludgeoning a child with a sharp object and then dropping the odd object on the floor, which itself is litter, but at least he's having the decency to leave some evidence so we can catch him. And then they put them into prison and they give them presumably plastic disposable knives so that they don't kill each other. And then no one complains about that. No one says, look at all that abuse of plastic, non-biodegradable plastic. You can't win either way. If you have something that rots and you throw it on the ground, they'll say that's disgusting, that's going to rot there. But if you get something that's not going to biodegrade for 10 million years, it's going to last forever, and you drop that on the floor, they'll say that's going to be there for 10 million years, unless someone has the decency or the presence of mind to think, oh, I can take that and use it for something else. No, they just assume the worst. They assume that if you drop a plastic bottle on the pavement, that's going to be there serving no purpose until it eventually goes away sometime between now and whenever the sun burns up. I'll say, I don't know. It's all everybody's all negative about this. It's all negative. They don't even realise 2 negatives makes a positive. It's one of the first things you learn in school. Now, once they teach you all about numbers and adding and subtracting and minus numbers, then they tell you 2 negatives make a positive. So if you owe money to 2 people, you owe them both $10 each, let's say. I don't know why I'm saying dollars today. I'm in the Eurozone. Let's say you owe them €10 each. And you tell them, that fellow is owed €10 by me, and that fellow over there is owed €2 by me. Why don't I fuse them together somehow? Get them together as a couple, and the 2 debts will cancel each other. And that doesn't work, I suppose. That's probably not a viable implementation of my idea, but I'm more of an ideas person than an implementation person. We can't all be everything to all men. We can't be all things to all men, to all creatures. For example, I couldn't sexually satisfy a hedgehog that I met out in the street, but I can come up with a podcast that can entertain at least several hundred people all in one go across the world. So no, we can't all do everything. That's why we divide up our tasks and talents as appropriate. Absolutely fucking fantastic. It's a time for a ad break yet. It probably is. Did I tell you about my new promotion? Only until the 31st of August. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Here's what you can do. Do you need batteries for anything? You probably do. Everything needs batteries. Your car needs batteries. Your remote control needs batteries. Your phone needs batteries. Your fucking that thing you have inside your heart, that needs batteries. They need to be be replaced by a surgeon every 10 years. But do it on the cheap. Go to intoyourhead.com. Down the right, you'll see my new affiliate, allsomethingbattery.com. It's got some sort of line in the middle. Doesn't matter, because you just click on the banner through my site. You'll see underneath the link, free shipping code. Use coupon code. You'll see it on the website, and it expires the 31st of the 12th this year. You get free shipping on batteries for a $75 purchase minimum, so you can buy a big fucking heavy battery. It's going to cost them about 10,000 quid to ship to you, but they'll give you free shipping as long as you spent over 75,000. And even when that offer runs out on the 31st of the 12th, All Battery will be remaining one of my affiliates, and anytime you buy anything through them, I get a major cut of the action. It doesn't cost you anything extra. See intoyourhead.com and look for the allbattery.com ads down the side. If you're not into that, just continue to shop on my Amazon links, as people have kindly been doing. Amazon.com, Amazon UK, Amazon Canada. Just click through the links every time you're going to buy anything on them. At my website, intoyourhead.com. Hello, this advertisement seems very long, but there's a lot to explain nowadays. Anyway, hello.
Hello, I'm Judge Judy, and when I'm not doling out judge-tertainment to the ignorant masses, I listen to Into Your Head.
Monkey bars, that's what they call them. They call them monkey bars. I believe they're an item of furniture in a typical public park children's playground. It's basically a climbing frame. I hope I've got this right now. You have the same sort of thing, I believe, in a monkey's enclosure in the zoo. All very well. There's plenty of productive purpose and helps them all energize themselves. But frankly, I'm not sure whether this is going to make for much of a segment in an entertainment audio podcast. But I suppose it's worth a try. What could we say about monkey bars that hasn't been said before? Well, the only way we know that is to troll through what has been said before and see if anything comes out of us as being missing. So I'll come back to this one. I've read up whatever the recommended reading is. I'm sure someone's written a history of monkey bars. If I go down to my local library, there's probably monkey bars down near there too, because there's a public park as well. So could go to the zoo as well. The zoological gardens, but they're almost 50 miles from here. Frankly, I don't fancy that much of a trip just to have a look at some monkeys behind bars. And the bars that they're behind, those aren't the monkey bars. The monkey bars I'm talking about would be the climbing frame that I assume they have in there. Or maybe they've got something more imaginative nowadays. Maybe they've got bits of trees and real trees and branches, like out in the real world. If you see a monkey out in the real world in the street, you'd expect it to be climbing trees. You'd also call the police. You'd dial 999 and they'd say, hello, what is your emergency? And I'd say, my emergency is that there's a fucking monkey out in the street. The rest of us have all evolved into human beings, but there's one monkey here looking very underdeveloped, and while I've nothing against underdeveloped humans being free to go outside and live as full a life as everyone else, frankly I think having a monkey out here is going a bit too far. So would you mind sending out the appropriate services? I don't know what ones. I suppose the police would be a good place to start. They'd know where to go. Not sure about the ambulance services. You could probably get a vet or something. I'm sure it's something who knows more than stuff about how to descale a rabbit, or how to put a hedgehog in for the winter under a cushion. I don't know. We need a monkey. I suggest calling the zoo, frankly. quite frankly. The zoo, the wonderful zoo, the zoological gardens. That was the first song I learned in school. Come with me, come to the zoo. There's such and something to do. You'll see all the tigers and elephants and monkeys and something and elephants too. The zoo, the wonderful zoo. Something. I'm surprised I used to be able to remember it all. That's rather disappointing. It was one of the highlights of my earliest memories of being in school. And I can't even remember the whole fucking song. In fact, I'm sure I got the words from another song mixed in there too. The memory is a cruel bastard. It lets you remember all bad things that have happened, but if I want to remember the first song that was ever sung to me as an innocent little child about a zoo, and actually now that I finally actually have a use for it as an illustrative piece of music in my podcast, no, won't come to mind at all properly. For fuck's sake, fuck you, memory, you cunt. Memory, remember this, you're a cunt. That's what I want you to remember. You're a cunt, memory. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I saw something about the monkey being out. No, nothing against people of lower intelligence or lower elevation or evolvity being out in the streets. But if there's a monkey, I think they need to have that would need to be looked into. The questions would need to be asked, and furthermore, answers would need to be given. That's all I'm saying. Just have someone look into the situation and see, investigate whether anything needs to be done. That's the bare minimum you expect. But no, I was saying earlier, someone leaves a fucking McDonald's bag out in the street, then straight away the liquor warden is down on you like a ton of bricks. He puts you in jail for the rest of your life, and McDonald's gets fined, but you leave a beautiful monkey free to roam the streets. The streets that he used to roam before even human beings were created, and that's considered a big problem. Gets second billing on the national 9 o'clock news. That's the kind of fucked up world we're living in.
Hello, this is J. Edgar Casey, and whenever I am listening to fine podcasts, I tune into your head program because it's very clean.
If you would like to comment on any of the issues raised in today's program, email us at studio@intoyourhead.com. Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener.
Two cats walk into a local independent franchise-owned branch of McDonald's. McDonald's hamburger restaurants, as they're known in some parts, or McDonald's as they're known to others, or Mickey D's as they're known to our local vulgar children. It's all the same, doesn't matter. Nothing shouldn't be complaining about people refusing to kowtow to branding and just choosing to call these businesses whatever they want to call them. I suppose that's fair enough. It shows a sign of independent thinking. But what we're talking about here is two cats. As far as I'm concerned, cats, we don't need to worry about them being affected by branding. It's not an issue. As long as the quality of the stuff inside the tin is what counts to them, and how it tastes, and whether it makes them vomit afterwards, whether they're good at remembering what makes them vomit and what doesn't, because that can get a little repetitive. I suppose that's the owner's job to manage that anyway. No, two cats walk into a McDonald's. One of the cats goes straight up to the McDonald's counter and says, "Hello, are you still serving breakfast?" And the girl behind the counter says, she looks confused for a minute, and then she says, "But we haven't been serving breakfast yet, sir. We just opened." The cat says, what I meant was, is it possible to order breakfast now? Can breakfast be got have I arrived within the correct time for a breakfast order to be placed and successfully dealt with? And the woman says, do you want fries with that, sir? And the cat says, I haven't asked you for anything yet. And the woman says, I'm sorry, you have to take what you get. Do you want what do you want anyway? Let's start again. And the cat says, I think that's a good idea. I'll have an orange juice. And the woman says, do you want that supersized with fries? And the cat says, no, I want an orange juice. And I want, what do I want? There's a good question for you. I'll have frigging sausage, egg, McMuffin with stuff on it. And the woman said, do you want the usual stuff on it? The cat said, yes, but put a bit extra on it because I noticing you're putting less sauce on everything than you did a few years ago. If you get some waffles nowadays or pancakes for breakfast, the yucky thing of sauce that you give us is a lot smaller, so give me 2 of them. And the woman says, I'm sorry, sir, I can't give you 2 of them. And the cat says, I've got money, look, I've got money here. I can't show it to you because it's hanging in a bag from my collar. You're going to have to get it out yourself. I'll trust you with that, even though you're a moron. But I've got money. I can pay for extra sauce. I'm prepared to, stuff the cost. I can pay for, I just want to have enough wedge on my pancakes. Is that too much to ask of a cat who can speak and who is your first customer of the day? And the woman says, sir, there's no need to take that tone with me. And the cat said, I never said there was any need to take that tone with you. I'm a cat. I'm barely able to speak and you're judging me by what tone I take. Give me a fucking break. If Jesus came along here and he turned all your hamburger buns into fishes, would you say, it's breakfast time, we can't be serving fishes, we need them turned back into burgers? You would not. You'd say, fucking hell, is that either that's Jesus or that's a really remarkable magician who should be on the television or at least on a podcast of some sort. And the woman says, sir, I've forgotten where we were. Did you order anything yet? And he says, yes, I ordered some orange juice and I ordered some sausage and pancakes with two buckets of pancake. I'll tell you, we'll make it easier for you. Give you 2 servings of that, and then you have to give me 2 tubs of the saucy stuff. It'll cost me a fortune in money, but it'll save me a lot in emotional distress later, because there's more important things than money. Happiness is more important than being calm and not turning into Michael Douglas and falling down. No, I'll just put the extra money to make up for this woman's stupidity and this company's greed. Well, you can't spend your whole life worrying about stuff like that. So yes, I'll have 2 servings of sausage, egg, pancake with syrup with both, please, even though I'm only going to eat 1. I'll probably bring the other half home to my cat. There's a little joke for you, because you see, I'm a cat. I'll probably bring them home to my owner, who patronise me and say, thank you very much, and then she'll dump them into my bowl for me to eat. Cunt. Anyway, how much will that be? And the woman says, that'll be €8.79, please. The cat says, certainly. I'll just get up on the counter now and you can reach into my purse that's hanging around my neck. And the woman says, okay, but I'd rather you didn't get up on the counter, because we've won awards for hygiene. And the cat says, it's okay, I'll lick myself while I'm doing it. And the woman says, okay, here goes. There you go, I took the money out. I'll show it to you, because I know you think I'm a criminal. I'll show you every single coin I took out, and here's your change, and I'll put the change in here. And the cat says, no, put the change up my arse, please. And the woman says, excuse me. And the cat says, I said, put the change up my arse, please. And the woman says, I think I'd rather not do that. And the cat says, I'm sure you'd rather not do anything that you do here. But this is your job, and until you get a better one, this is what you're stuck with. Now do it. I think that's where we leave the story there, because I don't know where it's going to go from there. On with the show. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, did he just spend 6.5 minutes looking at McDonald's through the eyes of a cat? Well, yes, indeed, I did. If you can drive along your road at night with your drunk-driven driving eyes and follow the lines along the middle of the road, those are called cat's eyes, you know. You wouldn't find them in the cat's natural habitat, I can tell you. They wouldn't be lined up along the middle of the road, but they're lined up for you. So when you're driving at night in an area that only has cat's eyes along the middle of the road, then I can tell you, you'll be damn sure to be looking at the world through the eyes of a cat. Now just imagine you're doing something less concentration intensive than that, and you're just going into McDonald's. Wouldn't you like to have a cat in front of you asking all the questions that you don't want to ask? I know I would. I'd love to go up to the cookie cat. There's a fucking little box displayed now up on the counter. It's got cookies in it, 2 types of Nestle Troll House cookies in it, and every time I go up to point at it, I'll say, hello, I'll have a cappuccino and one of those please, and I point at the chocolate chip one, and they'll say, sorry, we're out of them. Appears to be that's not a real one in the box, it's only a display, or else it's an old mouldy one that even the likes of them aren't allowed to sell, because they've won hygiene awards in Ireland. That's probably why. Maybe they sell those in other countries, but no matter how many cookies appear to be in the display box, they always like to tell me, no, we don't have any of them, and there's no way we could manufacture one in the amount of time that it takes and an acceptable length of service in a fast food restaurant a cookie takes. How long does a cookie take to make? I suppose it takes about 15 minutes. First you get the dough, then you get the raisins, and you get the bits of chocolate. You mix them all together like a 5-year-old would in a bowl, and then you put them on a freaking baking dish, and then you put them in a hot oven, and then you sit and wait, or else you multitask. You go and serve some other customers while you're doing it. I suppose 15 minutes would be quite a long time to wait for something to dip in my freaking coffee, but I'd rather that than dip a freaking whatever their latest sandwich is that's got weird sauce on it. I had a new McDonald's chicken bacon thing the other day. I took a bite off and put it in my mouth, and I had to spit it out immediately. It was so fucking disgusting. If you're ever in Ireland at McDonald's and you see the new chicken, they're advertising it has chicken and bacon were meant to go together. Well, that may well be, but they weren't meant to have fucking blood poison or whatever it is. It's probably some sort of sauce made out of blood oranges. Have you ever accidentally eaten the blood orange? It's one of the worst things known to man. I think they're meant to recreate whatever it feels like to be to have being forced into being a vampire, but you're not really one, so you're not really enjoying it. You're just pretending to be one of them so they don't kill you, and you bite into someone's neck. The taste you get from that would be the taste of a blood orange. If you ever have the opportunity to eat a blood orange, avoid it like the plague. Say no, that's like you might as well be handing me a fossilized potato from back in the potato famine, and I'd open it up and it would just be potato blight coming out at me from all over the place. Hell no, I'd rather get on the fucking Titanic with your man, and you're one from the posh family. I'd rather go hide in their bunker. At least I'd be ready for when it starts sinking. I'd say, oh look, there's glaciers up ahead. I'm pretty damn sure I know what's going to happen now. Luckily I've brought an inflatable dinghy with me. That's what I'd do if I was going on. I'm surprised people didn't do it. There must have been people there who had lived before, and they'd have heard about the Titanic. Maybe you lose all your memory when you're reincarnated, especially into the past. I don't know how it all works. I can only speculate. I spent 625 odd episodes speculating, and there's still more speculating to do. And you still want to try a blood orange, for Christ's sake. We'll never run out of curiosities in this world, I can tell you. There's always going to be something to talk about. There's always going to be something to taste and then spit out. I'll tell you, try spitting out a bit of a blood orange though. No, that's going to be difficult unless you've managed to not break the skin of the segment, because the segment has a little thin skin on it, an orange. So I suppose if you just, you won't get the taste till you bite into that, and then it's too late. You'll have to get a fucking J-cloth and wipe the inside of your mouth with it. And then you're going to have to get one of them tins of hot mints and put them in your mouth and suck like there's no tomorrow until the taste is gone from your head. Then you're just going to have to spend half an hour meditating and deciding whether you ever want to eat a vegetable or fruit again. Is it worth it? Is any stuff like this really worth the nutrients you get from it? You might as well. That's how people turn into vampires. It's one you have to admit, it's one possible explanation anyway. As one possible, just because it's only one of many, that doesn't mean it can't be without consideration. The world being flat, that was one of many possible explanations at one time. The other possibility was that the earth was square. It could be square and flat at the same time. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the world could still be flat. It's just round and flat. It's round and flat at the same time, so it's circular. The surface is certainly flat, apart from all the mountains. Think of the surface of the earth as a piece of paper, or a piece of cling film that's being wrapped around a ball, and there's little leftover bits, and you pinch them and they become mountains. And then there's bits where there's holes, and those are volcanoes. And then there's bits where some arsehole always has to take the wrapper off new things straight away, like an OCD monster. Those are called, I don't know how far you can take a metaphor for like this. Just go back to blood oranges. They're the way not to go. Just be aware of that. If there's one thing you've learned from today's episode of Into Your Head number 325, it's that blood oranges will be the last thing you ever eat on this planet. You'll probably end up you've committed some crime for which you get the death punishment, and like in the proper legal system, they'll say, what would you like for your last meal? And you'll say, oh, thank you very much, I'll have just toast and marmalade, please. And they'll say, yes, and what would you least like to be your last meal ever? And you'll remember me now, and you'll say blood oranges, and that's when you'll end up eating blood oranges. And people will be looking at you and saying, Christ, he's even worse than we thought he was. There he is, cramming a blood orange down his throat. I think we got the right fella here, all right. A lights, camera, action, let's kill him. That'll be the end of you. Well, that's hardly my fault. I didn't commit whatever evil crimes you committed in that scenario. And frankly, if you did, you deserve to be trying out a blood orange as your last act on Earth until you come back as a Titanic person or whatever it is I said you would. Anyway, good morning.
Help support this free podcast. Go to intoyourhead.com/tipjar.
Sit, Rhodey, sit. Good cat.
Intoyourhead.com